Hey there guys, John Campea here. Thanks for visiting my movie vlog. You know, in all the years that I've been doing this sort of thing, one of the most common types of questions I get from a lot of viewers are, hey John, do you prefer this movie or this movie? And a lot of them are pretty interesting head-to-head matchups. So I thought it would be fun to start a series of videos that takes two relatively comparable movies and put them up against each other head-to-head, tell you which one I think is better, ask you guys via a Twitter poll which one you guys think is better, and see how the dust clears. And we're going to kick off this series with one of my favorite genres, the comedy genres, and two absolutely incredibly funny comedies. We're going to be looking at Superbad, and we're going to be looking at This Is the End. Now, of course, both of these films are written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. They wrote both of them, and Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg actually even directed one of them. So we're going to take these two movies, put them head to head. They're beloved by audiences and critics alike, but which one actually comes out on top? Let's start by looking at the tail of the tape, and we'll start with Superbad. So as we mentioned, Superbad is written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, but it was directed by Greg Mottola. Now, this is kind of an odd situation because while I love Superbad, I didn't really like any of the other films he directed after that. But some people do, like films like Adventureland and Paul with Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. I didn't think those were good at all, and though a lot of people do like them. And then he did that atrocious movie with Zach Galifianakis, Gal Gadot, and John Hamm called Keeping Up with the Joneses, which is just an absolute embarrassment of the movie. Superbad came out in 2007, stars Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and Emma Stone. It holds a great Rotten Tomatoes rating of 87%. That's really high for a comedy, and it runs just under 2 hours at 113 minutes. As we move over to This Is the End, of course, written by Rogen and Goldberg, but Rogen and Goldberg actually decided to direct this one themselves, and they did a terrific job. The film's a little bit newer, came out in 2013, stars James Franco, Jonah Hill, Jane Baruchel, Seth Rogen, Danny McBride, Craig Robinson, but I mean, the cast is also very similar because Jonah Hill, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Michael Cera, Seth Rogen, they all appear in both films. I'm sure I'm forgetting some names. On Rotten Tomatoes, another comedy that the critics really enjoyed, 83%, and a runtime of a more reasonable for comedy, I think, 107 minutes. Look, this one is a tough one to call. These are two wonderful comedies that have great replay value. That's a really good hallmark for a comedy, replay value. Now, before I made this video, I decided to take it to you guys to see which one you thought was the better film. I went onto Twitter, asked you guys that question, put it into a poll, and overwhelmingly, you guys came back with one pretty distinct answer. Superbad. Superbad got 68% of your vote, while about a third of you guys, 32% of you, came back saying you thought This Was the End is actually the better movie. So what do I say about it? Like I said, it's tough to call. These are two magnificent comedies. I like them both. Rogen and Goldberg did a fantastic job writing both of them and directing one of them by themselves. When it comes to pure laughs, and generally speaking, that's the most important thing in a comedy. When it comes to pure amount of laughs and how hard I laughed, I got to give the edge a little bit to This Is the End. This Is the End was just a little bit more hitting when it came to the comedy. And really, all the characters in it, it's such a great premise. All the characters are actors who are playing themselves, but caricature versions of themselves. Think of it this way. Think of Neil Patrick Harris in the Harold and Kumar movies, but this entire movie is populated by Neil Patrick Harris's from the Harold and Kumar movies. They're all playing themselves, but caricatures of themselves, and it comes across as extremely funny. Superbad, though, does not shortchange you on the funny, on the comedy, on the laughs either. It's an incredibly funny movie. However, I do think Superbad is a little bit of a smarter movie. Yes, This Is the End tries to get into some philosophical and maybe even religious and big life questions, but it does so on such a thin level that really they're just there to set up more jokes, and that's fine. It works for the movie. Superbad, though, is kind of like an exaggerated expression of all of our high school experiences. And on that level, even though it's exaggerated and uses hyperbole a lot, we all know these guys. We all knew a Jonah Hill when we were in school. We all knew a McLovin when we were in school. We all knew a Michael Cera type when we were in school. We all know these girls when we were in school. Yes, it's exaggerated versions, but it works. And on that level, Superbad wasn't just funny, it was kind of nostalgic at the same time. So, as I sit back, overall, which movie do I give the edge to as the better movie between This Is the End and Superbad? I'm going to go with Superbad. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. The film that just celebrated its 10th anniversary. Again, they're really close to each other on the laughs. I would give the slight edge to This Is the End when it comes to the laughs. But overall, as a movie, integrating really good characters, some character development, some good nostalgia factor, and a little bit of a smarter film too at the same time, I give the edge to Superbad, and 68% of you guys did as well. So what do you think? Which film is better overall? Do you think This Is the End, or do you think it's Superbad? Jump into the comment section below and leave your thoughts. And listen, while you're in the comment section, let me know what other head-to-head battles would you like to see in this series of videos. Let me know in the comment section below. And while you're here, guys, take a second, click on that subscribe button, become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. Make sure you're following me on social media on Twitter, simply at John Campea. That'll do it for me for now, guys. Thanks so much for joining me, and until the next video, bye-bye.